Now before I run my cable, I like to back off of the end about 3/8 of an inch so that when it comes time to adjust it, I have some room to put some tension on the cable. I then run the cable through the desired hole, grab a grommet. And I've preloaded the grommets in the direction that I'm going because it's easier to hit the larger hole coming out and saves you a little time as well. Got to be efficient when you're working by yourself. So you do this all the way down. The level posts get a straight grommet and the post on the steps get a slanted one. So we just bring the cable through. It's a straight shot. And then on our particular application, we have hit steps. And these are angled downward. And they have now that we've reached the steps on our application, the wire cable is now going to come at an angle. So we put an angled grommet on it. And they are directional. And we simply continue to pull the cable through. Now that we're at the final post, what I like to do is put some light tension on the cable. Pinch where it enters into the post. I then measure back about an inch and 3/8. I pinch again, and that lets me know that that's where I want to make my final cut. And this is where I will crimp the end on it. So I make the cut. I grab an end. I insert the cable. And now I'm going to crimp it on. Once your crimp is complete, I like to take the grommet and put it around the cable so that I can see. I don't insert it. I put the cable through the hole. I'll grab my angled washer. Because you can actually see the cable at this point. Start to twist on the end piece. And we're just getting it hand tight at this point right now. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfectly tight because we still have some slack to take up on the other end. So at this point, your cable and grommet are installed. We'll put some tension on the other end and we'll tighten it up. So now we're just going to repeat that. Okay, future me here. What you're about to watch is me as I run the cables before I put the top rails on. In retrospect, I would have put the top rails on first, then run the cables, just because it gives you a more secure structure with which to tension the cables. And the only reason I did it this way in the video is because the top rails were the last thing to arrive, and I didn't want to delay production of this video. So, did I get it done anyway? Of course I did. But a tip for you, if you want to do it, put the top rails on first, then run your cables. Now let's get back to the build. The top rails come in several sizes. I was supplied with the 6.5 foot sections, which I joined with a connector and used those pieces to cut to size. BLIKA also supplies an angled adapter for when you get to stairs. You mark and cut as needed. There are several ways to cut this. I just happen to have one of these, but use your tool of choice. Gives you a nice clean cut. And their quality connectors keep the rails nice and straight. Just secure it with a few screws. And you want to make sure that your handrails are centered, so find the center of your rail. I found it easier to put the connectors onto the bottom side of the handrail and then mount it as is. And you can mount these several different ways as well. You can use self-tapping screws, or as I did, I put out the tap and die set, and it worked out fine. But if you don't have one, self-tapping metal screws work just as well. The rails are made out of 304 stainless steel, which means they are plenty durable and will last many years. To ensure my rails were straight, I used some extra blocking to keep them in line and secured them with screws. Definitely helped. And precision is key. So to ensure that both sides matched, I measured the side that was already installed and aligned the next side with those measurements. My attachment points are already centered, so it should line right up. I'll make the same cut when I get to the steps, and then it's on to tensioning the wires. And this, folks, is where you will get your steps in. It's a little at a time, a little at a time. A lot of times. This is before. And this is what we worked for. What a difference. Not only is the bridge more modern looking at this point, it's definitely less obtrusive. The fact that you can see through the cables, the fact that they're nearly invisible, makes the view that much greater. Definitely should have done this a long time ago. Now all I need is a destination on the other side. Well, today is Friday. Last Monday, it was 90 degrees. I guess the rain is going to test if the bridge actually works. If nothing else, those rails look great. Not enough water yet.
A few moments later.
They say timing is key. We were able to finish the bridge build just in time. We have raging waters in the area right now, and we can safely cross the overflow.